The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching dolly vision.
Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Chopping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, my beautiful people? It is good to see you guys back again. It's been so long. It's been so long. And as you can see from the title, it says Jack and Lily alive. Okay, that's followed with a question mark because it is a question, not a statement. Now, we've been hearing for the last few days from Daniel and Derwood O'Grady that these kids are alive. Now, I'm keeping hope alive, hoping that Daniel and O'Grady are telling the truth and these kids are possibly out there. But look, nothing's changed here. We still need your DNA on file, just in case Malaya runs off with you. We never know. It could happen, right? She could come grab your ass, throw you in a bag, and boop, right in the trunk, and you're gone, right? I'm going to track you down. Don't worry. I'm better than Dog the Bounty Hunter. I get you. But I'm going to need your DNA. I need something to sniff out, okay? Also, thank you guys, all jokes aside. Thank you for everybody that's been subbing up the channel. 69,000 subscribers. That is a hell of a lot of people, okay? That's a lot of, to me anyway. I know there's people up here on YouTube that have millions, but shit, 69's good. I didn't think nobody was going to watch my ugly face. Most Leslie, 69,000 people. And I think we can hit 70. And I think we can hit it by the end of this week. If you guys out there watching, help a play out. Help me out. Sub up the channel, ring the bell for notifications. And of course, you can share this ugly ass face, this one right here, anywhere you want, as long as it's not Pornhub. And if you do share it on Pornhub, put it in the ugly category. I don't know if they got an ugly category, but maybe Dolly will start it. Okay, maybe I'll start it. So my question to you guys today is, and we're going to take a little poll or something, and I'm just going to ask you in the chat, do you believe these children are still alive? I know it's a hard question. It touches the hearts of many, okay? Do you believe these kids are alive? 1 for yes in the chat room, 2 for no. Okay, because I got mixed feelings about this. Usually when kids go missing, they're gone for this long, it ain't good. And I'm team foul play, right? But I'm trying to keep hope that there is something, a miracle can happen. We just seen a miracle in the Claire Bell situation where this kid was on her own for 3 days, right? Waiting on the side of the road for her mama to come back and get her. And that was another crazy case coming out of Canada. A lot of stuff in Canada. I don't know what's in the water in Canada, but don't drink it. Y'all might be y'all might be piping in water from Tennessee. Okay. You don't want to get that Tennessee water. And apparently you don't want to drink Canadian water right now. All right. Don't do it. Don't do it. It can be dangerous, right? You can lose your mind. So we know this. And I think we can all agree on this. The first statements that were given to the RCMP are inconsistent statements, right? The story has been changing so much that it is just unreal, right? So the truth never changes. BC water is safe. Okay, thank you, Johnny. You can drink the BC water according to Johnny, and you're going to be good, okay? Just don't drink that water coming out of Lansdowne. Don't drink that Montreal water, and you might be all right, okay? You don't want to turn into a zombie, okay? Or emotionless, which is worse than a zombie. That's kind of what a zombie is, right? Emotionless, brains, right? They're just hungry, all right? But no emotion, right? And that's what that Tennessee water and that Canadian water do to you, okay? Don't go full zombie. It's never good. It's never good. So the rumors today is that Malaya has lost Meadow, which I don't think's good. You know, Daniel said it himself, and you know, Daniel's been with Malaya for the last 3 years, and he believes, can you call? Yeah, I'll open the phone lines in just a minute. I have probably about an hour to kill with you guys. I don't know if that's the word I should use when we talk about missing kids, is an hour to kill. I have an hour to waste. How about that? Okay. And I will waste it with you guys because you're absolutely the best. All right. And I enjoy hanging out with you. But yeah, I will open the phone lines in just a minute. Listen, Malaya don't seem to be your typical mother. She's not crying. She's not screaming. She's not begging. She's not doing media. And some of the allegations against her that Daniel are making are pretty damn scary and point the finger at her big time. How things have changed over the last month and 3 weeks? It's been about that, right? A month and 3 weeks. That's a month and 3 weeks way too long to have missing kids with not a sighting. Okay. Only the day before they went missing were they seen. Not a clue that we know of, right? Not from the RCMP. They haven't released anything. Everything on the trail cameras, doorbell cameras basically led to nothing. They put out this $150,000 reward asking the public for help, which I think is really good because, you know, the only person that had a reward up for these kids, which I thought was crazy, was me, right? I was like, okay. So now I get to save a little bit of money. And my whole hope in that was I knew it wasn't a lot of money because I don't have a lot of money. I could have lied like some of these people in the Sebastian Rogers case and came out here and be like, I got $500,000. Everybody in their right damn mind knows I ain't got $500,000, right? I'm broke as hell, right? I'm broke as hell. But I do have $5,000, right? That I have put aside in my savings. And I was going to give that money up for information leading to these kids. That money sits there for if anybody has any information on Sebastian Rogers or Summer Wells, or leads me to any of these kids, I will give you that money. That is a true statement, right? I have that there for that. But now it's not needed for Jack and Lily because there is a $150,000 reward. Now, $150,000 in the middle of BF nowhere in Canada is a ton of money. Barry Morphew going down this time for the murder. Yes, I seen that. PJ had just sent me a message about that, Tammy. We may go into that a little bit later tonight. I'm going to try to talk PJ into doing a show with me. She hasn't done a show with me in months. Okay. She's usually beside me and got all the scoop on everything, and she just left me out here by myself. Okay. So the word of the day is by myself. When you hear that word, I want everybody to shake their hands and scream like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Okay. So I've been flying solo here lately. Okay. I'm getting a little lonely up in the studio. Okay. I'm getting a little lonely in the studio. And luckily, she didn't kill me for the things I said last night because, I was a little mean to a certain corpse. I didn't know corpses had YouTube channels. I didn't know. I'm completely innocent of that. Had no clue. Okay. I didn't know they let dead people just make YouTube videos, but apparently they do. Okay. Apparently they do. It's a new thing. You can get a corpse with hair plugs right on YouTube. I guess it's a little bit for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I guess dead people need videos too. I already got them. It didn't take long. Right? To get the mad faces. It didn't take long to get the mad. I didn't name none. Okay. I didn't name anybody. I didn't say no names. PJ. Don't stab me. It's Friday night. I'm trying to have a great weekend. And I know the beautiful people out here in YouTube land, y'all are trying to have a great weekend too. And y'all don't want to start y'all's weekend with Dolly getting stabbed in the neck, right? I know I don't. I don't think y'all do either. Okay. So is it true that they took Meadow? Now, we haven't seen Daniel since he came into the chat room. I haven't been able to ask him. I may try to reach out to him on social media. Usually I don't reach out to people. It's not something I do. I usually allow these people to come here and speak their mind. I usually don't ask people to come to the channel. It's just, you notice that I don't do that. And I don't usually go up on people's panels. It's just a few things. I try to stay in my own lane in YouTube. And if you want to be a part or come in to speak, I always leave the platform open for anybody. And somehow, without me asking, people always find their way here. So I've never really had to ask or hit people up. But in this situation, there's things that are developing so quickly that I'm curious of. Not that I'm going to hit him up to come on the channel, but I just want some information. And if he could share some of that information with me, would be absolutely great. So I can pass it along because, the internet, I say you take it with a grain of salt. You can't believe everything you hear, right? Shit, you can hardly believe anything you hear. Remember when people would say, don't believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see? Now we live in a world where don't believe anything you hear and don't believe shit you see. There's a lot of video tricks and movie magic that happens, right? So you really can't believe anything. So I like to really hear it from the source. Thank you, Kay, and thank you, Turtle Gang, for being members for so damn long. You are absolutely awesome. Glad you guys could be here with us today. So I may tap in and reach out to him and see if he'll hit me back. Well, he came to the channel, so I'm pretty sure he'll probably hit me back. And that way we can clear up what is rumors and what is not. Okay. And I think, Daniel, if you're listening, and Derwood, you guys continue to talk, continue to do as much as you can, because the more you talk and the more you say, the more it stirs the pot on the internet. And the more the internet, Barry Morphy indicted for his wife's passing. Yes. But the more you guys stir the pot out there and the more y'all keep this case important and relevant, the better chances we have of the RCMP working their asses off, because the internet has been putting pressure on them, right? I'm sure that RCMP and, especially with the media in Canada not blowing this up huge, right? This should be a huge deal in Canada. This should already be on national news in the United States, but it's not. Okay. What's keeping this alive is a few YouTubers. Thank you to each and every person out there covering this case. I don't care who you are and how you're doing it, but just keep these kids' names out there. Kids are so quickly forgotten, so quickly. Now, we don't want anybody to forget any of these kids. We've been busy pumping this story, but there's still Sebastian Rogers, right? We not giving up on that boy. We still got plans of going back to Tennessee and stuff like that. There's a lot of people missing in Tennessee. We got Summer Wells in Tennessee going on 4 years. Okay. Going on 2 years in Sebastian, going on 4 years in Summer Wells. We got Layla Santinella out of Tennessee, Holly Snap out of Tennessee. And we don't want any of these people to be forgotten. Michael Monkey Vaughn, we still need answers for him coming out of Fruitland, Idaho. I think that's going on 4 years too, right? And we know who did that. And there still hasn't been an arrest in that case. And we need answers. We need answers. And quickly people move on and these kids are left behind, and we don't want that to happen. We got to keep it alive. And the way we do that is you guys, okay? Sharing the videos, tuning into the videos. And then when mainstream media sees that we're getting so much interest here, they start to pick the stories up. I've noticed that if you go on Court TV, every one of their guests is a YouTuber. You go watch Nancy Grace, every one of her guests, or a YouTuber or somebody that runs a podcast. Okay. You got to be a book writer, a podcaster, or a YouTuber to even be a guest on any of these shows, because they're paying attention to the internet, because YouTube is where everybody gets their media. It's the number one media source in like the world. So mainstream media has figured out, hey, let's tap into this, right? Because this is what people want. Alternative media is blowing up, and so they don't want to get surpassed, so they tap into this, and I think it's smart. So the more awareness and the more bigger YouTubers, like Joseph Morris was in the room today, and that was the first time I got to check out his channel, was yesterday. But this man has 600 and he has 631,000 subscribers. Okay. That is a lot. Okay. I mean, 69,000 to me is a shit ton of people, but 631,000. These are the people we need talking about these cases, because they have such a big reach. If y'all remember the Kylie Rodney case, okay, Upchurch, the country music singer, Upchurch, country rapper, whatever you want to refer to him as, he was covering that case, which got it totally tons of publicity, because, he has 3 million subscribers. He got sued over that. He actually paid the reward for Kylie Rodney when Adventures with Purpose found her. And then the family turned around and sued him. I don't know how quite. I think they settled out and Upchurch paid him. I think. I'm not positive. I haven't talked to church in a while, so I don't know. But then Sebastian goes missing. And I'm like, Church, will you share these photos? And he's like, look, I'm out of true crime. I don't blame him. I think if people were suing me too, I would be like, nah, I ain't doing it. But we need these big people. We need people that are big in the entertainment world to share these kids. The bigger the person sharing it, the better, because that's more people that see it. Hundreds of thousands and millions of people. Dolly Upchurch retired last week from music. That's till his new music video comes out. Okay. Don't believe that shit. He ain't quit music, right? He's trolling. Upchurch is a troll. Okay. I don't know anybody that's paid attention to Upchurch for the last 4 years, right? The man is a troll. You can't take him serious. Like, me, I troll people, right? I troll people and say all kinds of crazy shit. And so does Upchurch. He ain't quitting music. Have you lost your mind? I don't believe that shit for 3 seconds, right? He just came out with a new album. Yeah, right. He's been fighting with all his friends, right? And for anybody that follows that, did y'all see Johnny Gobbler knock out that dude, slap that dude, Triple T? Anybody? I know this is way off topic. But the dude he be fighting with, Dungburn, whatever the hell he calls him. The dude ends up, some people roll up on him in Kentucky, and this is some Southern stuff. And then Johnny Gobble smacks the shit out the dude on live stream, and then punches his boy in the face. Go ahead, Johnny Gobble. Right, go ahead. I was like, whoa! I don't know how that came up in my feed, but it did. And dang burn. There you go. But yeah, he held his ground, right? And he told Upchurch, he said, that one's for you, Upchurch. But anyway, the more of me bringing up Upchurch wasn't to go talking about country music or country rap. It was to bring up the point that these big people, we want to talk about these cases. So if we could get this case in front of even bigger people with millions of subscribers, somebody says Upchurch is the best troll ever. Yeah, he jokes everybody, right? If you met, so I don't believe he's retired from music. You know, he says stuff and then, you know, he changes his mind, or he's just messing with people. He's trying to you know, rile people up, you know, but he ain't quitting music. There's just no way. When you have music in you, when you're a musical person, it's super hard. It's like, you know, I toured the whole country in a metal band for years. Okay. That, for anybody that don't know, Dolly was the singer of a metal band before I started my YouTube career. YouTube is what made me give it up. I was like, hey, I still have a mic. I don't have to sleep in a van with 5 stinky people. So I found my home. It was like being in front of everybody is what I've done since I was 18, 19 years old. I've had a mic in front of me since then. Right. So it took a lot for me to give up music, because music is like a drug. It's like a high you can't get anywhere else. When you walk out on a stage in front of 5, 10,000 people, or even 1,000 people, or 500 people, it's a feeling you get that you can't get anywhere else. It's like a super high, right? And so for people to go, that's why people stay in it so long. They don't know when to get out, right? Because they're chasing that. They're chasing it. And to me, it's always something. Listen, in the music world, there's millions of people trying to do it, but only a small percentage of those people make it. So to me, it's always like you're chasing a dream that you can't catch. But don't give up, right? I tell people don't give up all the time. And that was my problem. I didn't know when to give up. But I got to a point to where I was like, okay, it's time to give up. You know what I'm saying? I found something else that I get the same type of enjoyment from. And if you can do that, that is awesome. And then you don't have to run that dog race that is music, because the music world is a hard world. YouTube is way easier, way easy, way more healthy too. I was living a bad lifestyle, you know, living in vans, eating fast foods. And I think, you know, as I got older, that played a part in me having that heart attack, is my lifestyle and the food choices and how I was living my life. And all them years of me abusing my body caught up with me, you know. So it's a rough life. It's a hard one. Dolly, Derwood is in the chat with us. Okay, well, Derwood, you want to call in and chop it up for a minute? Call in. I'll put the phone lines up, guys. Leave the phone lines open for Derwood. Don't be blowing my phone up. All right. As soon as I put this number up, you call me. I'm coming to your house and drop kicking you. Okay. I'm just playing. I'm not going to drop kick you, but you know what I mean. Don't do it. I'm going to say something mean to you, and I don't want to be mean. It's Friday. All right. Give me a second. Let me open up the phone lines. Yeah, I would have to find them. What I had an old YouTube channel and I was unactive on it, and they deleted it, which sucks because it had a lot of my stuff on it. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get these phone lines open. Let me share the screen so y'all can hear everything. Okay, phone lines are open. Call-in numbers on the screen, Derwood. I want to talk to you a little bit about this whole Meadows been taken by the CPS stuff. All right. So we'll leave that open for you to call in if you want to. Hold on. Oh, it's not open. There it is. Now it's open. Now the phone line's open. My bad. My bad. he will be like Willie Nelson 90 and still doing it. Yeah. Once, it's a little bit different when you made it and you're old and you continue to play music. But when you ain't made it and you're old and the sacrifices you got to make to chase that musical dream, like you really got to give up everything and get in a van and live on the road. And if you can't do that, you in the wrong business. I tell young people that all the time. If you're not willing to be broke, live in a van and be on the road all the time and never see any of your friends and family, don't get in a van, because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It is a hard life. And it's not if you don't blow up, you don't make a ton of money. Okay. There's a lot of struggling musicians out there. So when you go see a good band, make sure you buy a t-shirt. Okay. Because that's what keeps people alive on the road, is those t-shirts. If it wasn't selling t-shirts, I wouldn't have been playing his music as long as I did, because clubs don't pay you nothing, right? Even if you make a few hundred from the club, time you split that between 5 people, it ain't very much money. Okay. It ain't very much, but it ain't a luxurious life unless you're Metallica, somebody big, and then they're making money. Diddy did it. LOL. Diddy is terrible. Okay. Diddy is absolutely terrible. Derwood is related to Malaya. Smash that like button with your DNA. Dolly, I heard that Daniel's cousin, wow, custody, Meadow. I heard something like that she has filed for custody of Meadow. Now, listen, the children have to go somewhere calm right now. Okay. I don't want to see anybody lose their kids, right? If they don't have nothing to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. But Meadow needs to be somewhere safe, secure until all this blows over. I think that's the best. And I'm pretty sure that Daniel would probably agree with that. But far as the mother, I don't know. That's a little bit different. And I heard Derwood say last night that she's done lost a baby. Now, like I said, I'm not positive of that. And so many people are, out here spreading the information that these children are alive. And I think that's great. It gives people hope, at least, because what's the opposite of that? They're not, and somebody's unheard them because they didn't wander off, right? The police say there's no signs of abduction, but we got to remember the police wasn't getting the right information in the beginning if what they're saying is true, because Daniel told inconsistent statements. There's no doubt. And I truly think that's because he loves Malaya. And, you're going to cover for somebody you love. Don't act like you guys in this chat room wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? You love somebody enough. You're going to lie for them. It ain't good to lie, right? But you don't want to see somebody you love end up in prison for the rest of life, because at that point, it's over. And I don't think Daniel wants it to be over with Malaya. He's really concerned about Malaya, and this ain't the time, right? I get it. I understand it, right? But you have to look out for yourself right now and let everything fall into place and then try to pick up the pieces. You don't want to catch the things while they're falling, because there's too much to catch. There's too many moving pieces. Let it hit the ground, sort it out, and then get your life back in order. Is the best advice that I could give Daniel. Is if she cared about you, she would be standing up for you. And the only person standing up for anybody out here is Daniel standing up for Malaya. The phone lines are open. Let me refresh it just in case. And if Derwood just wants to chat and chat, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to call in. That's all up to you. We don't force anybody to do anything around here. If you have something you want to share, or if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Don't hold it against you. But the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open if anybody wants to discuss this case with me. But where are these kids at? Derwood seems to think he knows the people. Derwood, I don't know if you have Facebook but you need to drop me some clues, brother. Okay. Drop it in my I don't know if you know what a DM, direct message, or how I could get you some personal information to you so you know how to get a contact with me. And because I don't save anybody's number, like when you call in, it has caller ID, but a million people call me, so I don't know whose number's whose. So it ain't like I have your number and can reach out to you. But if you could send me a text message and say, "Hey, this is Derwood," and if you don't want me to say the name, that's perfectly fine. But I like to know the name so I can look into them myself, do a little bit of sleuthing and digging. Anything you want public, I won't. Dolly,
Hey, Dolly.
yes.
This is Karen from Ohio. You know what I think she needed those birth certificates for?
What do you think?
I think she was getting them over to the United States. And they had enough time. It's been 6 weeks. Those kids are already probably over here.
What, in the States? But here's the thing: if you went and tried to enroll them in school, wouldn't they know these are missing kids?
They're not going to enroll them in school.
Then why need the birth certificates?
They don't. They're not going to enroll those kids in school. I'm telling you right now. And another thing is, her mother was behind all this.
Uh-huh.
Her mother knew exactly what she was doing. That's why she listened to her mother within 5 minutes of her mom
All right,
being.
hold on a second. They can't hear you. Let me reshare this screen real fast so people can hear you.
Just to go to the border just for the day to eat at a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
But if they just took them, I mean, it's been 6 weeks. They just glance at it and send you on. I mean, so they probably wouldn't even remember those kids coming over the border.
Maybe. Maybe. Especially if they did it right when they first went missing, like they were instantly taken across the border. Maybe not
Right.
then. I don't know. Do we know if she?
I bet they're over here in the United States.
Do we know if they know anybody in the States?
We don't. So you know what? It would have to be Derwood or Daniel. But I'm going to tell you something else. She might have been communicating with somebody on her cell phone.
Yes.
Over in the States.
Yeah, because look, remember when they said his mother came out and she was on the phone and she acted like she got busted doing something? I wonder if she has another friend. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, see, this is something else I want to know. The mother came out and seen her down at the end of the road the day the kids have disappeared.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, okay. Did the mother immediately tell law enforcement when they got there? That's a big problem if they didn't.
Yes. That's what my thing is. I think the first statements that were given to the police were so off that they ran with what the parents told them in the beginning. And if they would have told them the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, it may have went a different path. Well,
was it on your station? Because I watch you and one other podcast.
How dare you?
99% of the time. But I watch you more than anybody.
There you go.
Funny, and
there you go.
And I get to call you. But now let me ask you a question. Was it you that said that she took 2 of Daniel's sweaters with her?
Yes. Yes.
Well, see, that makes me believe the bad red flag.
Yeah, that's scary because if they find a crime scene and them sweaters are there, it's going to make it look like Daniel doesn't hurt these kids.
Exactly, but see, we don't know if he's involved or not because he's lying.
Or if he's lying and them sweaters are found with the kids and he's trying to cover for himself. But if that's the case, why even say it though? I wouldn't say nothing about it.
Exactly.
I wouldn't.
Well, another thing, the 2 stuffed animals, he made sure and said she took the 2 stuffed animals that belonged to Jack and Lily.
Yes.
But, nothing was mentioned what was taken from Meadow. And why was she so attached?
She didn't even take
her
stuff. All her stuff is still at the trailer.
Why is she? Remember, it was said that it was like Meadow was a diamond to her. What is that all about?
Listen, all I can figure out is a disconnect. I ran across this with Leilani Simon in Georgia, that she hated her baby's daddy so much that she took it out on the baby. and
I gotcha.
and she liked her other two kids, but she didn't like Quentin Simon. She treated the other kids
Right.
great. And this may be a situation where Malaya might like Daniel, but she hated her baby daddy that hadn't had any communication in 3 years. So she started to take it out on the babies. I mean, that's
Well,
just
see,
me guessing. That's just me guessing.
no, you're right, but there's something else we all have to look and consider. Daniel gets to see his other children.
Uh-huh.
He has them all the time. Remember, he goes a family of 7.
Yeah. And now he's
And
by
then it
himself.
went down. It's now he's by himself.
Now
That
listen,
means he
if
sees
this
his other kids.
if this dude is innocent, let's just say he's innocent. Just hype.
I feel sorry for him.
He's still a suspect to me, but I'm just saying hypothetically, let's say he's innocent. Oh my God, I feel so bad for this guy because
I'm gonna.
everything and all at
I'm gonna. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you something. I really believe he is innocent. I believe she played him for a fool. And you know what? She found somebody that probably has more money because he only works 1 day a week.
Well, that's because the
And
meal is slow, but usually he works every day. It's just that the
okay,
meal slows down sometimes, and when it does, he don't work as many days. But he works a full-time job.
well, I'll tell you the truth. I believe the kid is innocent. I really do. I do. Because why is he up there on national TV? I mean,
Chris
what, he
Watts
doesn't
did
cry.
that too. That's what I'm saying. That's why in the beginning I kind of got Chris Watts vibes from him, but I don't know Daniel.
I know, I did
That's why I
too,
said I
but
wanted to really talk to him on the phone in private, so I could kind of get to know him on like a personal basis a little bit, so I can have a better understanding of him. It's hard for me to do that watching him on the news. You know, even if I didn't air it
what
or
would make
share the
me feel
conversation, I
exactly.
like to get a good vibe of who he is as a person.
But you know what would show his real innocence? If he would come out on national TV and say, Malaya, please give up the kids. Tell where they are. This is creaming us. We're losing metal and everything because of what you did.
Yeah, he really hasn't been doing that in the mainstream media, but he has been doing that behind the scenes, which he needs to bring that to the light.
Over here in the U.S.,
it's possible they could be anywhere at this point.
They had a 6-week lead.
Yeah,
those kids were in the U.S. the very next day.
You think so?
I guarantee you they're over here.
Huh.
I guarantee you they're over here.
And here's the thing. There's no media in the States for them. None. I haven't seen none.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. And that's why she wanted the birth certificates and all. You got to have the birth certificates to say, I'm going to visit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. I had that. Me and my husband had to have it for our grandson to take him over just for the day to eat lunch at a restaurant there.
Okay. Well, look, hey, I thank you for calling in. You be good. Stay safe.
Tell Derwood, what's his name?
Derwood O'Grady.
Derwood O'Grady, call in because we want to hear what you think. Do you think these kids are in the United States? Okay, bye, Dolly. Love you guys. All right, bye, honey.
I want to say a big thank you to Tam and to Queen Lift. Thank you for your super stickers. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
Doug from Tennessee.
What's up, Doug?
They find them kids yet?
No, but I think it's heating up a little bit, and people are starting to share more information and being a little more truthful now than they were in the beginning. I think.
Well, if they got them kids hit, they need to go to jail.
They will go to jail. But, here's the thing. They need to realize every day that they hide these kids, it's going to be longer and longer they get in jail. You give them up now, you might get 6 months. You wait a lot of time longer, you might get 6 years.
Yeah, but you go and have to reimburse them for all them that time that them searchers and all that shit was out there. You're going to have to reimburse them for that, people.
Yeah, you would have to sue them and never get your money. But yeah, I'm
talking about the damn state.
Yeah, I know. The same thing if you commit a hoax here in the United States, they're going to sue you for all the money they spent with them helicopters and searchers, and it costs millions to search for people. Everybody out there is getting paid.
Yeah, and if they're hiding them kids, that's wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's for good, now wait a minute. I think if it's for a good reason, I can understand.
Yeah, but we haven't told any reason.
But if he was essaying them kids or something, I could understand. I would run too.
Yeah,
But
and he did say he did
the
tell me
law.
he did tell me, Doug, that they're accusing him of a bunch of crazy shit, but he didn't go into what.
You don't get accused unless something has been, unless they've been.
I don't know. That's not true because I get accused of all kind of shit I ain't do.
Well, I get accused for it, and I did it.
You get accused for it. You did. I just saying, people, until there's some proof, you know what I'm saying? You can accuse everybody, right? But until there's some type of evidence, you shouldn't hold somebody responsible for some shit you ain't got no proof on.
Yeah.
You know, so people say horrible things about me all the time, right? And they don't even know me. And I'm just like, where the hell they come up with this shit? And so just because somebody says it, that damn sure don't make it true.
Right.
So, I mean,
I've heard people say a lot of stuff about you. I'm like, hell, I've met him. Hell, he ain't like that.
Yeah. There you go. I try to tell people, I'm like, I'm the same dude. Doug, am I the same dude you see on TV in person?
The same person.
The same exact person. I try to tell people that.
I will tell you what. I don't know how to donate, don't know how to do that stuff. And you took my call every time.
Yeah, it ain't about money to me. It's about the whole thing. It makes it work. All the support, the likes, the donations, it makes the channel what it is. And some people can, some people can't. I love everybody all the same. Because I know it takes everybody to make the magic happen.
And I consider I met me a friend.
Yes, definitely.
Instead of associate.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if you were coming through Tennessee and you needed a place to walk your camper up, I got you a spot. You know what I'm saying?
I know that, Doug. I definitely know that. I've made a lot of friends on this journey called YouTube. A lot of good people. I've met a lot of good people. I am thankful for that. I feel blessed.
And you think I'm joking? If somebody would come in that place we met, and I was standing at the door, they started. You don't think I would have thrown them out that front door?
Oh, I know you would. I know you would, Doug. I know you big as hell. You big as hell.
And got the last thing to prove it.
For sure.
That's my last name.
So keep the hope alive, Doug, that these kids are out there.
Hey, you know what is my last name, though?
What?
Hell.
Hell
is my last name.
Well, give them hell, Doug.
But it ain't spelled H-E-double-L, it's H-A-L-E.
Oh, okay. H-A-L-E. Like hell, like a hailstorm.
Like, hell.
Give them hell, Doug.
All right, Dolly.
All right,
tell PJ hi.
All right, you be good.
Bye. See you.
Okay, if y'all want to know who Doug is, when y'all see the intro of my video, in the picture, Doug is the big ass dude that looks like part Sasquatch. He towers over everybody. Doug is probably he's damn near 7 foot. He's big. He's a big man. Okay, why can't I answer the phone? Hold on, caller. I must have the phone line open in 2 places. Give me 1 second. Dolly.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm the one that kept saying, can I call in?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can call in.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, you can call in.
Yeah, I just, I was talking to our retired police officer's son today.
Our retired,
and,
what retired police officer friend do we have?
Son. Our son.
Your son? Our son? We got a kid. We got a kid together?
No, my husband and I.
Oh, y'all have a son that's a retired police officer.
I'm sorry. I guess I kind of said that in a confused way, but anyway.
I'm thinking I ain't paying child support, woman.
No, I won't hit you up for that.
Okay.
Anyway, I was talking to him, and because for me, listening to these relatives calls the first time something started making sense to me, and I asked our son, I'm like, what would the charges be if these kids are still alive, but, held and everything? And he's like, I was expecting him to say, really strong charges. Anyway, he was saying, no, it would be minor misdemeanor charges. And I was really surprised. And I said, yeah, but in Canada, I mean, anywhere an investigation is spending millions. And he's like, yeah, but you can only charge for what's happened anyway. So I just thought that might be important for the safety of the kids. And anyway, yeah,
Yeah, so you're
that's
saying
all I
the
have.
charges would be misdemeanor charges like what?
Very misdemeanor. Let's see, what was it he said? He was
Obstruction
saying,
of justice or
yeah, because you're lying to
yeah.
law enforcement. And I don't think there's anything that can be said about the children being taken away. So anyway, the other one was minor too.
Yeah, it may be just some misdemeanor charges. I think the big thing would come is when they put a civil suit against you afterwards. But far as
Oh,
criminally, it I don't think it's felonies, right?
No, it isn't. Yeah. I mean, people should check that out to make sure. But if you have family members that are like, oh no, if we get caught, we're, going down forever or whatever.
Yeah.
I know I was surprised, and I think that might make a difference in their wanting to turn them in. So
Yeah.
just an idea. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the information.
Yeah, we love listening to you. So
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you so much. Peace.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so she said, hey, Zen 11. She said she has a retired police officer son, and, these may be misdemeanor charges that these families face. And I don't think it's much. I mean, because you're lying to the police. That's really all you're doing. I guess if you wanted to hide your kids, you could play hide and go seek with them every day. It ain't against the law, right? But when you tell the police they've been kidnapped, then you're lying to authorities. And I believe that's really all they can charge you with is lying to authorities, right? Because you have the right to leave with your kids, go where you want with your kids, and it may not be that big a deal. So if somebody out there is watching the kids, just give the kids up, right? And before you do find yourself in any more trouble than just lying to the police. And basically, what if she's took these kids somewhere that people don't watch TV or watch the internet? Now I know what you're thinking. Everybody watches TV and everybody watches internet, but no, they don't. I hardly ever watch TV. I just watch the internet. Okay. I may do Netflix, like movies, but far as like local news and stuff like that, I don't never watch it. So, I mean, I know there's people out there that don't pay attention to TV and they're not really big in social media, and maybe they've got the kids and they don't know these kids there's a massive manhunt going on all over the damn world for these kids. That's all Casey Anthony got charged with, is lying to the police. You never watch TV. So, I mean, the best thing to do is take these kids somewhere safe and hand them to somebody and be like, hey, these kids are, take them to a store or take them to a fire department somewhere. And that way, if you want to get away, you can, but the kids are in a safe place. Don't drop them off on the side of the road or somewhere they could get hurt or, ran over or lost. Take them in somewhere, give them to somebody, and then run. Okay. That's what I suggest. Run fast. But make sure the kids are safe before you run. All right. Or before you try to get the hell out of Dodge for you doing something, so silly as, taking these kids in without knowing the backstory to it, but let's just pray that Derwood is right, that Daniel's right, and Malaya is just crazy, because this is what it's seeming like. Something is off with her, because she don't have any emotions really. And we've heard Daniel hint to she has mental health problems. All right. And then we heard the grandmother say that Malaya was very emotionless when she went over there and unkept. Okay. That she's usually really clean. The kids are clean. The house is clean. And she gets there. Is she going through some type of depression? Is she going through something? And what did Daniel's mom catch her doing? We've been hearing that since the beginning too. That she was outside on her phone and the mother stepped out and she acted suspicious, like she was doing something. is there somebody else? Is she having a relationship with somebody else out there, and there's another guy, and now she wanted out the relationship? Because we hear from Derwood that there were problems, and she was reaching out to her family, trying to get help to get out of the relationship. All right, Nova Scotia's calling. Dolly.
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Derwood? I didn't even know that was your name.
All right, let's get that bullshit out of the way. My real name is Darren, D-A-R-I-N.
Darren. Why do they call you Derwood?
Well, because I got kicked off Facebook too many times for doing political statements.
Oh Lord,
against
you
the
want
liberals
to
and
know?
that, and
You
and
were over there
so I had to
politicking.
make up a fake name to get back on Facebook and stay on Facebook.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's your alias. That's your alias name right there. So it's Darren.
That's my hey. I'll tell you where I got that at. It's kind of a good one. There was a woman on a bus, and she was a pretty woman, and she was reading a book about the Kama Sutra and sexual positions and that. And this guy walked up and looked at her and saw the book. And he said, "Oh, Jesus," he said, "that's a pretty interesting book you're reading." And she said, "Yes, it is." And he said, "Can you tell me some facts from that book?" And she said, "Yes, well," she said, "the native man is supposed to be the best endowed man in the world." And he said, "Oh, yeah, okay." And then she said, "But the Irishman is supposed to be the one that lasts the longest." And he said, "Oh, yeah, okay." And she said, "What's your name?" He said, "Tonto O'Grady." But that Tonto O'Grady was already used on Facebook, so I had to go to Derwood O'Grady.
Okay. So your last name O'Grady?
No, it's not.
Oh,
But I'm
okay.
not going to give it out
Okay,
right
I
now.
don't
Pretty
want
well
your
everybody
last name.
around here knows it now.
Okay,
Anyway,
so now you're just Derwood O'Grady. I mean, it is what it is.
that's good. That's good enough for me for now, if you don't mind.
Okay, all right. So you got kicked off of Facebook for politicking.
Oh yeah. There's no use in me stating my political radical views. But
have
anyway,
you ever seen the movie The Hateful Eight?
yes, I have. I liked it. That was a good movie.
It is a good movie. Remember when they were arguing? He said, "Oh, we just talking politics."
Yeah, that's right. That's
He's
right.
like, "We just
That's right, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't want to talk too much right now because, to tell you the truth, I had a long night and day yesterday, and I'm pretty
I
tired,
heard
and
you
I
went on
got
a
to
world
float
tour
here.
like Motley Crue.
What's that?
I heard you went on a world tour like Motley Crue.
Well, I wouldn't mind getting paid like Motley Crue on a world tour. That wouldn't be too bad.
So you made your way
out. No.
Let me ask you something real quick, though. What is the deal with Meadow? Did they really take Meadow from Malia?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so I take it they found her when she went on the run. She went to the reservation. They go there and get the baby.
Well, now I want to defend Meadow a little bit. So the statement on the run, I don't necessarily. She panicked and she left with the baby from Cindy's place, and she went to the reserve in Shubenacadie. I think she thought it was a wise move. Now, I was pretty disappointed because I almost had Malaya. I got this one thing I have to find out, and I can almost fix this thing. And Malaya is the only one who would know. So I got through to Malaya, and she agreed to meet with me and talk with me. And then she's on the reservation with her native family. Their names are Brooks. And they got around her, and they strongly influenced her and convinced her not to leave the reservation and not to talk to me. So that blew my chance to get this one little piece of information I need. So that sort of dead-ended me for now. But the meeting I have tonight with somebody is another way to find out that information. So I got to go out tonight and
check into it
and talk to some people. Yeah. So really, that's about her.
Okay. So do you know if Daniel's been able to see Meadows? Because I know he was supposed to get supervised visitations, and he was supposed to meet with the CPS. What was it, yesterday that he was supposed to meet with him? Or was it?
Yes, he did meet with the CPS yesterday. Yeah.
Was there any chance?
And I was actually talking on a.
Hold on. You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up a little bit. You're losing signal.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
You
Now.
got me now? Or?
Yeah, I got you.
The CPS caseworker and Daniel both called me, and we went on speakerphone, and they wanted to ask me some questions about Daniel, which they did.
Uh-huh.
And so I do know for sure he was at the CPS. They had a meeting about him having visitation with actually, I believe, his own kids. I don't think it was so much about Meadow as his own two kids that he had to the previous marriage.
Yeah.
Now don't take that for 100% fact. Other than this, like I can't say too much because they don't tell you too much about what they're doing either. But I know for a fact he was at CPS yesterday. He was talking to a caseworker, and I was in on a three-way call, or I was in on their meeting by speakerphone for a little while. So that's all I want people to take for granted there is that he was meeting with CPS yesterday. And the outcome, I don't know.
Now, I heard that Logan is trying to file for custody of Meadow. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, Logan told me. Logan messaged me. Let me see. See, I've been up some nights and running around at nights and days. There's some sort of silly shit going on here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sort of losing. I don't even know what day it is right now.
Friday. Friday.
Okay. I would say the day before yesterday, I knew about half an hour after Malaya took off from Cindy's house with the baby. I knew that about half an hour after that she took off.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, Logan, right at the point when I got home, I was over Toro when I found that out. And right when I got home, Logan's been very good about this. Logan's been very open, and she's part of the other family, right? She's part of the McKenzie family,
Yeah.
not my family, but she trusts me and I trust Logan. And we've been helping each other. Any facts we've had with each other, we've been helping each other with any information because she figures, well, I think she figures I'm coming pretty close too, and she wants the kids safe.
Yeah, that's the most important thing of it all. Do you think Meadow would be safe with Logan?
Yes.
Okay.
Meadow would be in a good place with Logan, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Logan loves kids. The McKenzie family all loves kids. That's Daniel's uncles and aunts and those people. They love kids. It's like I said before, if it came out that Daniel did harm those kids, I don't think he'd ever get away from his family's house alive.
Yeah, they're gonna string his ass up.
Oh man, I think he'd be the one disappearing in the woods pretty quick, and I mean, I hope not to see that. But,
so he comes from a family of good old boys.
Yeah, good old boys, rough guys that are real. All they're doing is they work hard and they're just trying to make a living like everybody else. But they love their kids. They love every kid they can.
Yeah,
in a very clean way. They love their kids. They'll protect their kids right to the death.
Family, most important thing there is.
It's all that's left.
That's all you really got in this world. You can't take money and nothing with you. It's the love for your family that's the most valuable thing you can own.
That's right, man. That's right. I agree with you there.
Wow. Okay.
And yes, Logan messaged me. Oh, Jesus, I didn't know what day it was. I don't know whether it was yesterday afternoon or the day before. Let me see. I think it was the day before, right after I got home. Logan messaged me and asked me if I had any news. And she said, I heard that Malaya took off to the reservation, and I told her yes, that's true. And she said, will they take Meadow? And I said, yeah, CPS already took Meadow. And she said, oh my God. She says, I'm going to go right down to CPS tomorrow morning and try to get at least temporary custody of Meadow.
Yeah.
And I told her I think that would be a really great idea. I think that would be really good.
Now, did she go back to her mom's, or did Malaya? Do you know? Did she went back to her mom's, or did she stay on the reservation?
Now this is not 100%. I don't want to say something. I don't want to say that. Before I give an answer to my best ability, if it's not totally true, I won't say it's totally true. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're good.
I got some very good knowledge, and I'm very sure. Yes, I'm very sure she's still on the reservation right now with her family.
Okay, all right.
She hasn't been. Not if she would have been arrested, I'd have known about it very quick.
Yeah.
So there's no. The one guy that made a comment on there saying that she'd be arrested automatically. That's. I don't believe that's correct.
Yeah, I got you.
So anyway, that's where we sit right now. There's one clue I need. There's just one little piece now I need.
Well, since we talked last, they did offer up that $150,000 reward, which I think is a good thing because, you know, it's in the middle of nowhere. That's a lot of money in the backwoods.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of money, that's for sure. But it's kind of disappointing to me too. Like I'm glad you think it's a good thing, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But
I know where you're going to go. That the police don't have nothing. They need the community
that's right.
help.
You know, they've been 6.5, 7 weeks. It's like oh Jesus. See, one of the reasons I need a little rest here is I've been angry for a long time, off and on, and it's wearing me out.
True. Hey, just stuff will do that to you. It's stressful on you. It's a lot of stress in true crime. I can tell you that firsthand.
Yeah, and for those guys now, after 6.5 or 7 weeks to off $150,000 reward, that just indicates to me that the stupid bastards don't have anything. They can't do anything. They're stuck. Now, with all the resources, all their manpower, all their money, the satellite observation, the goddamn cameras, hey,
Derwood, I got to talk to you about something. Like, you say the GD word a lot. Not that you can say whatever you want, but it's just one of those words to me that I'm trying to get in good gracious with God. Okay.
I believe it or not, I am too.
I don't know. I recently had a heart attack, so I'm trying to make my way into heaven just in case something ever happens to me. So if you could use any other cuss word in the world that you want, but let's try to.
I fully understand. I fully understand, and I'm partly in the. I'm trying to improve myself too.
I'm just trying to get in the gates. I'm just trying to get in the gates. Right. Okay, nothing personal. Just I'm trying to get in the gates. So I had to say
but look, I love it. I enjoy that. That's a talk about faith, and that's another talk that has to be spread around.
Well, I had a little scare, and now I realize, hey, I might not be here forever. So I'm trying to do good. Okay.
Yep. No, and I'd be more than glad. My last two things that I seriously have to try to improve on, you hit one on the head, is the swearing.
Well, everybody.
And the other one I don't want to discuss because I believe it or not, the only time I do really curse is when I get severely start getting angry.
That's how I am too. I drop the F-bomb every now and then, and I try not to do it.
Oh yeah, I'll let her fly. I might have to let a few fly later tonight.
Me, I'm bad about the F-bomb when I say it a lot.
Well, sometimes you got to intimidate people in this kind of thing, and I don't like that. I normally not like that, but what do you do?
Yeah.
So I really don't have anything else for you other than that,
okay.
Other than your information on Malay and the res, and the Meadow being taken by GPS, and Logan looks like she's now, and I can't even say that Logan actually did make it down there yet because that's just what she told me the day before yesterday. She said, and she said, I'm going down tomorrow morning then and start trying to apply for at least temporary custody for Malaya. That's what she told me, and Logan's a woman of her word. I'm sure she did. But that you can't take that for the truth either. She might have got delayed or anything else. So if somebody else is saying no, Logan wasn't down there, well, maybe she wasn't. But 90% chance, I'm sure Logan headed down there. Well, anyway, I think that's about all I can go.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for me, and I'm sure the internet wants to thank you for sharing and keeping us in the loop of everything that's been happening as it goes down. And we're praying for the best, and we stand beside you there, Derwood O'Grady.
Thank you, man.
Okay. You be safe.
Thank you, man. And listen,
hey, I got your number now. If you want, and if you got some stuff you want to put out there and let me sleuth into, I won't say it on the internet. You can text this number that you call.
I'm going to tell you the same thing. I was talking to, there's one other channel that I do like quite a bit. And I've been talking to them some. There's a guy named Justin. Touch Those Pearls. I don't want to talk to that dink at all. He's a dink.
Hey, dude, he's a corpse with hair plug.
I don't care what you think about that guy. That guy's a dink. He knows more about this than I do. So I just told him, well, I guess you can just go ahead and solve it then, because there's no use in me talking to you.
Yeah, dude, you fucking idiot. See, I had dropped the F-bomb. There I go. I can't even help it.
What you just said there's one little shot of faith that you're gonna lose, you cursing bugger.
You're gonna make me say the GD word. That dude is an idiot.
Yes, he is. He's a total idiot. Oh, did you? Here's a good one for you. There's another. Now, first I'll tell you the other one that I do like and that I'm cooperating with a little bit because they're helping me a little bit too. Is The Criming Shame.
Yeah, the Canadian girls. They're a great channel.
Sunny Austin, I think her name is. Is that it?
I think so. Sunny, and I forget the other one's name. But they're a cool channel.
Yeah, they're pretty. I find they're pretty good.
Yeah, you can tell they're decent people. I mean, that's important in this world, just to be a decent human
Here's a
being.
good one for you. Tell your viewers this one. I don't know how I got on this one. I didn't know her or anything. Means, Motive, and Opportunity, she was called. Well, she showed an interview with Belinda Gray first. I won't be long. She showed an interview with Belinda Gray first, and by the time she was done the interview with Belinda Gray, she was ready to say there was something wrong with Belinda Gray, that she knew a lot about the kids and that she was guilty in a bunch of this. So then she showed a video of me after that, and she diagnosed that. And before that was done, she said she was going to call the RCMP and report me because she was pretty sure I was the guy that was driving the vehicle that took the kids away. She had a vision about that.
The internet's crazy. It's a crazy place. It's a madhouse.
It's mad, and I'm going to do more listening and less talking for a little while until I find something, because I'm tired of it. And sometimes when I say stuff, people take it the wrong way, and then I'll read it 5 minutes later, and it's not what I said or not what I meant at all.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go now, buddy. I'm sorry, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm getting grouchy myself.
Get you some rest, Derwood. You're breaking up really bad. So we will talk to you next time. Stay safe, brother.
Okay, peace. Tell everybody thanks, and I still need the kids are alive. I really do.
All right.
So,
all right. Peace.
Let's try to find it. Bye.
All right, so he was breaking up really bad there at the end, and yeah, the internet's a crazy place. And for people watching this, like, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. All right, we gotta take it with like a grain of salt. It could be true, it might not be true, and so many people run with misinformation. And that's why it's important to try to find some people that are closest to the source as we can. We know him and Daniel in communications. Daniel told me that he knows him and the stuff that he's saying is truthful. And he tells you too, like, listen, this is what I know. This is what I'm speculating on. Okay. And I like that. I respect that, because I do the same thing. Like, listen, this is what's going down. This is what we know. And this is what I think. That's two different things. What you know and what you think are totally two different things. Okay. And why he talked to a corpse with hair plugs, I don't know. But I noticed my phone started ringing, and it was the producer as soon as I said it. Okay. As soon as I said it. All right. Don't get me in trouble there, Derwood. You got to watch what you say around here, right? There's trigger words that Dolly has. All right. Some things just trigger me, and I can't help it. I almost said GD. I was like, oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. There's some people we don't bring up around these parts. Okay. Yes. But good to see you guys. So I wasn't expecting that. So, and we found out that it wasn't even his name. Okay. It's just a name from a dirty joke. And you can tell Derwood is an old timer, because that's their sense of humor. And I can respect that, right? Because, Dolly, I got a weird sense of humor too. And if y'all ain't never seen the movie Hateful Eight, y'all need to watch that. That's a good movie. Anybody in here seen it? The Hateful Eight? Where dude's like, oh, we just politicking. He said he got kicked off Facebook for politics. Anybody seen Hateful Eight? Press 1 in the chat if you've seen it. Where's the monkey? Okay. Where's the monkey? Y'all are trip. Yeah, Derwood is very old school. Yeah. I like how he says ass. He's arse. Arse. Before this is over, I will be able to speak Canadian. Okay. When I go to Canada, I will have all y'all's lingo down, okay. I got it. I'm right now, I'm almost Canadian. Okay. I can live right in the trailer park with the trailer park boys with Bubbles and the cats. Good to go. You know what I'm saying? Y'all smoke a lot. I quit. I had to quit, you know what I'm saying? But I think it took me a while, because I first watched the Trailer Park Boys and I didn't think it was very funny. Right. It's just like Kids in the Hall or Tom Green. I still don't think Tom Green's funny. He's the most stupid motherfucker ever come from Canada, right? But after a while, I found the Trailer Park Boys to be hilarious, right? Like it took me a little bit to get the Canadian sense of humor, but then after that, I was hooked and I couldn't stop watching it at all. I watched every season, every movie, everything from the Trailer Park Boys, kind of like The Office. Laugh my ass off. Tom Green, tell me he ain't. That dude is just stupid. Okay, just stupid. Like you got to dumb yourself way down, like super dumb, to even find him even remotely funny, right? Like I watch him like, how did this dude even get a deal? You end everything with a question. Laugh my ass off, Dolly. So we learned today that Meadow, and this is allegedly, right, has been taken from Malaya. Now, hopefully, we heard Daniel say that he's scared that Malaya will do something to herself if she doesn't have Meadow. Now, Malaya, if you're out there listening, because I know everybody listens to Dolly. It's just one of those things. They hate me, but they listen anyway. It's weird. It's weird. They hate watch. Okay. Malaya, if you're hate watching me right now, don't hurt yourself. Right. It's time to tell the truth. Go get some help. Listen, if your chest was hurting, you would go to the doctor, right? Or if you was having a heart attack, you go to the doctor. If you cut your arm off, you would go to the hospital, right? Well, your brain is the same way. When you're having problems with your brain, you need to go get help. And listen, people go through things, depression and all kinds of things, but they're scared to reach out for help when it has something to do with mental health, because they think people will think, oh, I'm crazy. No, you just need a little help. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs a little time. And this may be good for you, right? Never be scared to help yourself or to better yourself or to get your mind right, because your mind controls your body. If your mind's not right, your body's not going to be right. Okay. So reach out for help if you need some in depression and all this stuff. There's people out there that'll listen to you. There's people that won't judge you, and there's people that really care. And I think people don't understand that sometimes. They think nobody cares what I say. Nobody's going to listen to me. And they do stupid things and going through these mental health problems. And sometimes people, can be perfectly fine 1 minute and then be fucking batshit crazy the next, right? Like they go through these cycles. If you know crazy people or have crazy people in your family, which I do, right? I got some people that are schizophrenic and all kinds of stuff in my family. They'll be okay, right? Hold a normal conversation with you, and then you'll see them 2 days later, and they're standing there with a Bible waiting for a UFO to pick them up. What are you doing? Oh, the UFO's coming to get me, looking off in the fucking sky and shit. It's weird, right? But it's all like chemical imbalances in your brain and the right medicines and getting these people on the right medicines. And when everything's flowing right, they seem normal, but they're just a couple seconds from being unhinged, right? Mental health is a serious problem in our country, especially in America, that people don't take serious, right? We need to put more health into drug rehab and mental health than probably anything else. And I'm speaking for America, not Canada. In America, our veterans, mental health, and just all that stuff alone is overlooked. And it's hard for people to get the help that they need. And that's why we have so many crazy ass people. And it's almost like a catch and release thing. Like they're crazy. They take them to the doctor for a minute and then boom, you're right back out on the street, crazy as hell. And if it ain't a constant cycle of like them being their medicine being looked at and fixed and tweaked, and they start to go off
Dolly, I sent
the
you
rails.
an email. Justice for Timmy D's. Every voice helps. Justice for Timmy X.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And thank you for your super chats, guys, and for your likes. If you haven't, definitely hit the like on this video, because PJ sent me mad faces and then she called and I didn't answer. So I'm probably going to die when she gets here. Okay. If I come up missing, y'all know who did it. Okay. Y'all know who did it. Y'all can make YouTube videos and be like, we know what happened to Dolly. Nobody will watch them because nobody gives a shit about me, but you can still make them. It never hurts, right? You might get 65 views. Okay. But y'all come find whoever got me. All right. I'm giving y'all a clue without getting, I don't want to get myself stabbed, but if I come up missing, y'all know what happened. All right. I shouldn't have said nothing about a corpse with hair plugs and tumbleweed on his head. I shouldn't have said it. Vincent. Thank you, Vincent. Right. I was triggered. Okay. It was like, even Dolly needs some psych help every now and then. There's certain things. Definitely won't be me. I'm playing PJ. PJ wouldn't hurt me. She loves me. She feeds me every now and then and lets me out my cage. Okay. Don't worry. She walks me. She walks me every now and then. So I'm good. And Vincent, thank you for gifting those memberships. And if you got a membership from Vincent, make sure you thank him. So what did we learn today? Quiz time. Quiz at the end of class. Malaya, apparently, allegedly, has lost Meadow. Logan may be applying for custody of Meadow. And I've seen people asking who Logan is in the chat. Logan is Daniel's cousin. Okay. And she was the one that was supposed to take Meadow in the beginning when Malaya did. All right. Because they had came to a compromise that they needed to get Meadow out of there where all the police and everything was going on. And they were going to let Meadow go with Logan. Right. She was going to take care of Meadow. And, you know, of course, Malaya's mother got there and things changed. She got into Malaya's ear and Malaya was like, I got to go. And Daniel says, you know, they wasn't fighting, that she was hugging on him, kissing on him. And she told him, said, look, I need to go with my mom. Right. And then she left. And then once she left, I don't know what the mama said to her, what transpired, but then it was cut off all communication. Go home, put single on your Facebook, shut down, not give interviews. You know, if the mother hadn't came along, would this be a different story? Would Malaya be giving interviews? Would Malaya be talking? Would it be different? I honestly think it probably would. You know, and Daniel said something to me that makes a lot of sense. He said, I think the reason she left was because I would have knew. Well, he didn't say lying. I don't want to misquote him. Okay. I don't want to misquote him, but he says she would have broke. Right. And he would have seen it. He would have knew. And to me, that's basically kind of translates into he would have been able to see through the lies. And she knows that. So to avoid him seeing through her lies, she left. Now, I think that's a true statement, because if you've been with somebody long enough, right, you know where they're lying, right? Like when PJ came in and said, you did not say that about that man last night on your live stream. And I would have been like, no, I didn't say that. She'd have been like, you're lying, right? She would have been able to tell, right? So I got in trouble this morning. I got scolded, okay, for being mean to a certain corpse that wears too much makeup. And so, but if I'd have said, no, I didn't do that, she would have knew I was lying. Just like Daniel would have knew when he started questioning her, she was lying. So to avoid that, she left and she's not answering any of his questions because he would know. Now, I'm not positive that Daniel's innocent, right? And I'm going to treat everybody as a suspect until these answers come, right? And or until the police clear Daniel and Malaya and whoever it may be. If your ass lives in Canada right now, I got my eyes on you. You're a suspect. Even Derwood, okay? I'm watching y'all, okay, from a distance, from a long ass distance, but I'm watching, okay? Everybody's a suspect until we figure out what happens to these kids, and we're going to get answers. So if you out there and you watching this and you did something from these kids, just know your time is coming. You're going to pay for it, right? You better hope that these kids are alive. The sweater story is a weird one, okay? And I want to discuss that a little bit, but I want to go into length on that because there's a lot of theories of why something like this could happen, why she took the sweaters, or did she take the sweaters? I mean, that's a whole stream in itself, you know. Today I just wanted to touch on the whole, you know, is Meadow really been taken and what's going to happen to Meadow? And hopefully if the CPS doesn't have any proof that Daniel had done anything, then they need to let him see his kids. I mean, it's bad enough he's lost his baby girl. And especially if it's supervised, they need to go ahead and let him see those kids. So you guys tell me what you think in the comment box down below. My producer just walked in, so I think it's time for me to get, and I may be back live tonight. I can't promise you anything. Okay. I guess Friday night we may end up going out to the Outer Banks. So I don't know if I do go live, it might be from my phone on location from somewhere that has a margarita. But if not, I may be back live. Okay. No promises. No promises. So you guys be good, be safe. And just remember this, like the video, sub up. And if nobody else loves you, Dolly does. Peace.